Good morning again, Year 5 and 6. Today we're doing a little bit more work on converting fractions into decimals. Hopefully you've done the task 2, which is learning some key fraction and decimal relationships. So for example, at home, can you shout out what is 0.5 as a fraction? Oh, I can almost hear you there. What is 1/10 as a decimal? Great. So you've just got to start to learn those off by heart because it makes, maths for the rest of your life a lot more straightforward. Okay. Today, now the first couple of tasks on the sheet are doing what we were doing yesterday. So I'm not going to go through all that again. You can watch yesterday's video if you want. But there's a couple of questions that are slightly different today. So from section A and B here, these are questions 25 and 31. So it says give the value of the underlined figure. So you've got 13.5 and it's the 5 that's underlined. So it's simply asking you what is that 5 there worth? And we did that yesterday. Okay, so you can see because it's in the fractional part here, it's going to be over something. So this one's going to be 5 and then you look above it and it's 5 over 10. Okay, and you can use the support sheet that we provided if it will help you to write these decimals out. Okay, that's the first one. So another one here, 6.27 with the 7 underlined. So it's simply asking you what's the 7 worth? Well, 7 on the numerator, but this one's into hundredths. Okay, I think this is fairly straightforward. So the next little bit, I think I've skipped one here, so I've gone straight on to B, question 31. So you've got 43.296, and it's asking you what the 2 is worth here. Okay, even though you've got the thousandths, okay, that would be 6 thousandths, 9 hundredths, 2 tenths. This is actually, again, quite straightforward because it's simply worth 2 tenths. Okay, that part should be fairly straightforward. And then I've got a few from section C here, and it's asking you to try and do these mentally, really, rather than, I know you could do a column and add them up, but it's really thinking about the number 1.392 and thinking, if I were to add 4 hundredths to that, I mean, I can physically put these here, okay, so you can have that one, and that one there, but we're not really encouraging you here to do this as a written method. It's just simply thinking, right, well, if I add 4 hundredths on there, well, if I add 1 on, that will take it up to, you'll have to turn that into a 0. So, because really what you're doing here is if you're adding on 4 to 9, you're creating 13. But of course, you can't have two numbers in one, okay? So, what's going to have to happen is when we're adding on, and you can do this mentally as well, when you're adding that on, you're going to have 3 in that column. You're going to bring 1 across to here, and so that's going to become a 4. And every other number is going to stay the same. So you're only changing this part here. You haven't added any thousandths, so the number of thousandths is going to stay the same. You haven't had to carry over into the ones, so that 1 is going to stay that 1 from the original question. So it's encouraging you to do this mentally. Okay, I know I'm writing it out to try and show you my thought process, but really that's what we're doing. Okay, there's another one here, and this is really only on the C section. Okay, if you're doing that one. So you can do it mentally. Okay, you can see here we're adding on 35 thousandths or 0.035. So you were adding into the hundredths and we're adding into the thousandths. So if I was doing this mentally, I would say, well, 4 is going to stay the same. Sorry for the big number 4 there. The change is going to happen here, but because 9 plus 3 is 12, it's going to have an effect on the tenths. It's going to make the tenths go up. But I know my thousandths are going to stay the same. So basically, you might treat it as 79 add 3, okay, which is, of course, 82. So really, 9 add 3 hundredths is 12 hundredths, but the 1 kind of carries on to the next place value holder, because 10 hundredths is the same as 1/10. Okay, so if you're doing section C, that's what you'll do.